this is Creature Rumble Update 2. Between the last update and this one, it's been mainly polishing, so this video is not going to be quite as long, but I'm going to go into basically what I've worked on in the last month. So for starters, I worked on redoing the history tab. Before, it was it would just take your strongest team and then put it in here, and now I have a system set up where, and a lot of this art is still temporary, where you can go into here and select between your endless map and your campaign map and put cards up that you would like, and you can still only have one of each card. So like if I put the Everest Defender here, I can't equip him over here. And once you fill out these cards, it gives you a team score, and you can still look at all these cards and see what their stats are and everything, but I think I can do some pretty fun things with this, like maybe get achievements and stuff based on how strong your team is. But this gives the player a lot more control over selecting like the team they want to show off. And even if in the future, if I end up doing multiplayer, this will be like a system where you can use your cards from either your campaign or your endless map and put them in into the multiplayer. So then next, this is the biggest change. When you go in, I've completely redid the map. So right now, this is what it looks like halfway done, basically, halfway completed. I'll pull up this image here, and this is going to be every node on the campaign, I guess you can say, and each node is like the gameplay. We'll go into it, and I'll show you here in a second. And every time you beat each needed node, you will unlock the next zone. So for to unlock zone 2, you need to get 14 and 11, and then for Zone 3, you need to get 27, 24, 23. So basically all the final edge ones, and then all the other ones are optional if you want. And this is another big thing. This took me a couple days, way longer than I was expecting, is getting these buttons to work. Unreal Engine doesn't really have a system for custom shaped buttons, so I had to find one and then basically remake it and get it to work. But it is working pretty good. So going into these nodes, you can probably see that they're the green and the red. It's a pretty simple concept where if you beat a node, all the connections from it go green, and then it unlocks those nodes that are touching green. So from here, and this is the other thing, you can click onto the nodes to basically go into each zone you need to. So for here, I can play pretty much all of these because they are touching a green connection string. But if I go out and I go to this one, I can only play these nodes right here. None of these are playable yet because they need to be unlocked from beating the previous node or a touching node. Going into here, we can kind of show when you click on a node, this is still similar from before. I also added this in, so this is like a defeated node, so you can actually see like the stats of the defeated node, the how much rewards you got from it, the creatures you ended up using with it, and what the map was finalized at. And then when you click on a node that hasn't been defeated yet, that's when you can go in and then play the node. So I'll show off here what it looks like. So we'll beat this node right here, and it should unlock these two. So when you load into the node, this button will pop up. Right now, for test purposes, it's just popping up forever, but this button will pop up when you get enough nodes defeated, which is 85%, 90%, whatever. And then when you defeat it, you get a bonus card, and then you get some of the rewards here. And then now that we load back into here, as you can see, it is these two are now playable, and then this one is defeated, and it shows you the stats and what we collected and what the map ended up looking like. Now I want to show you another thing I worked on. This was a pretty big change figuring it out. So I'll get a pack here. So with our team selected, we can go in like before. So for starters, I redid all of the tiles. I'll show those a little bit more in depth towards the end, but as you can tell, they're a little bit different. I think the colors and stuff are probably going to change as I continue to develop. All the models are now fitting more closely to the maps that you can go into. So we'll go into the jungle map here, and this is what the jungle map looks like. And ignore this white here. This will look like water. It's just I have the settings turned down. This is what the jungle map looks like. And so I basically redid all the different places that you can play in the nodes. And the cool thing is like, remember this scene, and then we'll leave and go into a new one. And there's up to 6 different places you can spawn randomly when you go into a node. So here, as you can see, the scenery is different. This was a lot of changing things around and making things work. Now we can go into the next big thing that I added, and that was the creature transitions. Before it was not finished, well now it is, and so this is what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with how that played up, and yeah, and then the creatures start attacking each other. And ignore some of the pop-ins too, those are just because I'm in editor. And then when the creatures are defeated, they go back up, and they go back to their cards, and everything pops back up. So I'll show that again with, hopefully without any pop-ins. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. The artists that worked on these effects did a really good job. And the 3D modeler too, fixing up the models, has done a great job as well. So those are pretty much the main changes that I have worked on from the gameplay perspective, and I'll go into some of the art that was worked on. Here are the new tiles, and again, these are all randomly generated meshes that spawn, so each one looks a little bit different. But yeah, no, I really like this art style. I think it's a lot simpler, and it's a lot more performant as the last ones as well. Here are the beach tiles, and then here are the ocean tiles as well. And then here are some of the final more creatures that were made, 3D models. I think these look really good. They're moved out right now, which they might end up changing, but overall I think these look really good. And these are some more art pieces done for the like scientific creatures, and I think these look really good. These were ones I showed last time, and then here are some new ones. You know, the artist working on this has been doing a great job. And then the artist working on the base creatures as well has been doing a great job. But yeah, those are the main changes I've worked on. If you guys have any questions or notice anything, make sure you comment it down below, and thank you for watching.